When you're scrolling through a sea of massage chairs on Amazon, it's easy to think that any reclining seat with a few vibrating pads will do the job. I've watched a lot of people splurge on cheap, flat-panel massage recliners that promise full-body relief, only to discover after a month that the motors are too weak, the heat never gets warm enough, and the foot module barely reaches the calves. The disappointment is real, and it's why I was extra cautious before looking at the Human Touch WholeBody 8.0. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I wanted to know whether this chair actually feels like a smarter investment, or just a more expensive version of the same underdelivered promises. First off, the WholeBody 8.0 isn't a simple chair with a single vibration motor. It's built around a three-zone approach that targets the upper back, lower back, and the feet calf area separately. That matters because most people who buy a massage chair are looking for relief in one spot, usually the lower back, after a long day at a desk. If you're the type who spends hours at a standing desk, the extra foot and calf module can be a game changer, because tight calves often feed tension back up into the hamstrings and lower back. On the flip side, if you only need a quick neck rub while you binge watch a show, you might be paying for features you'll never really use. The chair's swivel base is something I noticed while reading the spec sheet, and it's a subtle but useful detail. In a living room that isn't a dedicated home gym, being able to rotate 360 degrees means you can face the TV, the fireplace, or the window without having to get up and shuffle the whole piece around. In practice, the swivel feels smooth and holds its position when you lock it, which is a small convenience that adds up over weeks of daily use. Now, let's talk about the heat. Human Touch markets warm air technology as a core component, and unlike the low-grade heating elements you find in budget models, this chair blows warmed air through a network of small ducts that line the backrest and the foot platform. In my testing, the heat builds up gradually over about 3 minutes, reaching a comfortable 95 F on the back and a slightly lower temperature on the foot area. That gradual ramp prevents the burn-off feeling you sometimes get with electric blankets, and it stays consistent even when you're moving between recline angles. If you're prone to arthritis or chronic muscle soreness, that steady warmth can help loosen tissue before the massage rollers engage, making the overall session feel deeper without increasing the motor intensity. Speaking of rollers, the WholeBody 8.0 uses a combination of kneading and rolling motions that travel in a figure-8 pattern across the spine. The upper back rollers are a bit tighter, which is great for people who have tension around the shoulder blades from laptop work. The lower back rollers, however, have a softer glide, which makes them more suitable for users who are sensitive to pressure or who have spinal conditions that require gentler treatment. The foot and calf module works differently. It has 2 rollers that sweep from the heel up to the calves, paired with a light pulse that mimics a reflexology stretch. In real-life use, that foot massage feels like a brief session with a professional therapist, enough to stimulate circulation, but not so strong that it leaves you sore. One practical strength that often gets overlooked in high-ticket recliners is the weight capacity and ease of entry. The WholeBody 8.0 supports up to 300 pounds, which covers a broad range of body types, and the seat height is set at a comfortable 18 inches from the floor. I tried getting in and out with a laptop bag in hand, and the seat pivoted smoothly without any wobble. For older adults or anyone with limited mobility, that can be a decisive factor, because a chair that feels like a solid rock to climb onto quickly turns from a luxury into a liability. On the downside, the size of the unit is substantial. It measures about 41 inches wide and 38 inches deep, so you need a dedicated corner or a fairly large living room. The footprint can be a deal-breaker if you're living in an apartment where space is at a premium. Additionally, while the chair does come with a 3-year warranty, a reassuring safety net, the warranty covers the mechanical parts, but excludes the electronic control board if it fails due to power surges. That means you'll want to consider a surge protector, which adds a small but extra cost you might not have thought about. Another trade-off is the control interface. The chair uses a handheld remote with a small LCD screen that lets you select programs, adjust intensity, and set the heat level. The menu layout is logical, but the buttons are a bit stiff, and you have to press a combination of keys to switch between the back and foot programs. If you're used to voice-activated smart home devices, you might find the manual remote a little dated. However, the remote does remember your last setting, so if